right, last example, and in this problem we have a function where we have a fraction that's all raised to a power. So we have 3x minus 1 over x squared plus 3 all raised to the second power. And the key here is we're going to rewrite this function too, and we're going to use exponent rules to do it, like the exponent rules we remember from Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, I hope. So I'm going to rewrite this like this. So I can basically break up the numerator and denominator and write 3x minus 1 squared over x squared plus 3 squared. So I'm rewriting the function using exponent rules. Okay, that's the first step. And now again, this is going to function. This is going to work a lot like the function that we just did, in that we're going to use quotient rule and chain rule in order to find the derivative of this. So we're going to do our low d high minus high d low over low low. So off we go. So I'm going to come over here so we have plenty of room. So the derivative is going to be found with the low, in this case x squared plus 3 squared, times the derivative of the high. Now here's where the chain rule will come in. So chain rule tells us that we're going to bring that 2 down times 3x minus 1. 2 minus 1 is to the first power, and then we need to multiply that by the derivative of the inner function, which that will be 3. Okay? So that was low d high. Now let me do high d low, and I'll do a different color. How about purple? So high is 3x squared minus 1, or 3x minus 1 squared. And then we need the derivative of the low. So we're going to use chain rule. So we'll do 2 times x squared plus 3 to the first power times the derivative of the inner function, which is going to be 2x. And that's all going to go over low, low. That is my denominator. I'm going to use a different color. And that is going to be the x squared plus 3 squared squared. So that will be x squared plus 3 squared squared is to the 4th. Okay, so that is applying my derivative rules, both my quotient rule and my chain rule. As you can see from this crazy numerator that we have a lot of simplifying to do, and that is what we are going to do first, is start simplifying that numerator. So in the first part of my numerator, which I've written in black here, I'm going to start pulling together what I can, and I can multiply the 3 and the 2 to get 6. So I'm going to have 6 times x squared plus 3 squared. That just comes down unchanged. And so does 3x minus 1. Just comes down unchanged. And that's the first part of my numerator. I'm now going to subtract the second part. And I can multiply like terms together. That's going to be 2x and 2 to give me 4x. And then I've got an x squared plus 3 just to the first power. And I've got a 3x minus 1 squared. Okay, now I'm not forgetting my denominator. I know that it's there, but I see that I have quite a bit of work I still need to do on this numerator, so I'm just going to concentrate on the numerator for the next couple of steps. The denominator is just going to be there in spirit, okay? And then we will bring the denominator back for our final answer. So let's continue factoring and simplifying the numerator. So I'm going to think about what my greatest common factor would be. Between my 6 and my 4x, I can pull out as a GCF between those two a 2. I've got x squared plus 3 squared here, x squared plus 3 to the first power here. So I'm going to pull out 1x squared plus 3. I've got 3x minus 1 here, 3x minus 1 squared here. So I'm going to pull out 3x minus 1. And that whole thing in red is my GCF. And now I'm going to write what is left when I factor that out. So from the first part of my numerator, 6 divided by 2 is going to give me 3. X squared plus 3 squared divided by x squared plus 3 to the first power is going to leave me with 1x squared plus 3 to the first power. 3x minus 1 divided by 3x minus 1 is just going to give me 1. Okay, so that's the first half of the numerator. Second half of the numerator, I'm now going to factor. So 4x divided by 2 is 2x. X squared plus 3 divided by x squared plus 3 is 1. 3x minus 1 squared divided by 3x minus 1, oh, you can't see. 3x minus 1 squared divided by 3x minus 1 is just 3x minus 1. And that is my simplified numerator, though of course not fully simplified. So again, I'm going to keep working on this numerator because I can see I need to simplify it more. Haven't forgotten the denominator. I'm going to pull it back in, but I'm going to run out of room if I keep writing it. All right, so still working on the numerator. I now have, as my factors that I've pulled out, 2 times x squared plus 3 times 3x minus 1. And then I'm going to simplify everything that's here in these brackets. So I've got some distribution that I can do. I've got 3x squared plus 9. And I'm going to distribute here minus 6x squared plus 2x. Watch that double negative there. Okay, keep simplifying again. I haven't forgotten my denominator. I'm just working on this numerator because it's got a lot it needs done to it. So this is my factors. I'm just bringing these down and keeping it all the same color. And now I've got 3x squared minus 6x squared. That's going to give me negative 3x squared. Plus 2x has nothing to combine with. Plus 9 has nothing to combine with. Now I'm ready to let my denominator join its numerator. So I'm going to draw my fraction bar. And my denominator was x squared plus 3 to the 4th. And what I see is I can make one final simplification, which is that this x squared plus 3 is going to cancel with just one of these, leaving that to the 3rd. So I'll write the very final version of this derivative, which is 2, you'll see it, okay, 2 3x minus 1 negative 3x squared plus 2x plus 9 all over my denominator, which is x squared plus 3 now to the 3rd power. All right, you did it.